Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be around the world. I just want to bring to you some breaking information that saddens my heart. When we talk about dishonesty, when we talk about a criminal syndicate, when we talk about people who try to grab everything for themselves, greed, selfish. That's what we see have unfolded right before our very eyes. We are Liberians, but if we are not mindful, it is stated that you can never leave your shadow behind. Our shadow always followed us. And this is the typical example about what has happened to our brother. I use the word our brother because the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. But we must be very careful when we try to attack this word because of what we want for ourselves. We see that through the process of investigation and the court certain and the sentencing of this brother, Stanton Weatherspoon, those who were in bed together with him, those who were connected with him, doing all of the devilish deeds, what did they do? They turned against him. Dishonesty, scare tactics. They turned against him. They became the federal government's witness against Stanton Weatherspoon. And I know all of you know Stanton, and maybe he got a radio station. He has a television station, I believe. A very popular young man, where he got people following him like Eugene Fagon, who is so deceitful and so, dishonest. He got Fatiga and supporting, behind him, and all of them are supporting Joseph Numa Boakai. This is what we are talking about. Are we going to allow these people to lead our country, to rule our country? People who are involved with people who are criminals? So that is the thing, Liberians. We have to be careful. When we talk about these things, people don't seem to understand. They get at us and say the worst things. But this is a typical example of dishonesty, of being deceptive, of being greedy, of wanting everything for myself, and I don't care about no one else. That is not right. So his buddy was set free yesterday for time served. But he's going to prison in Fort Lauderdale, Texas, for what? 42 months, which is about 3 years, 5 months. 3 years probation. He was charged 3.5 million, of which he paid. All of his property will be confiscated. He had to hand over his passport. Why must a person put themselves in such a situation? How much money did he made? I know he made over 5 million according to calculations. But if he had to give 3.5 million back plus all his property, and it is stated that if he doesn't say what property he has wherever in the world, it will be an extra charge on him. And he will be sentenced in January. We have to be careful, Liberians. Be it here or in Liberia, we have to be mindful of our lives. God gave us the life once. After 3 years and 5 months, with everything taken away from him, what going to become of Stanton and his family? It is so sorrowful, it is so pathetic that his wife and others followed him to court yesterday to go and verge on his behalf. But none of them took the stand. Not one person took the stand on his behalf. Is that the person that we consider those around him to really love him? Because if Fagon or Fatiga or whoever else that followed him to this court section, if they had love for him so much, speaking on YouTube and Facebook and say a whole lot of stuff, why couldn't they be bold enough to say, you know what, I'm going to take the stand on behalf of this man and I'm going to speak on his behalf? But all of them are in a soup bowl. They all ate off of Stanton. He was the best man, right? Open top sedan, and all of them was gravitating towards him, trying to get what they could get out of him. But when he fell, all of them back off. Not one person could take the stand to speak on his behalf. So now he's going to prison in January for 3 years, 5 months. 3 years of probation if he gets out of prison. All of his property that he purchased, that he has, whether a house is, whatever he has, they're going to be taken away from him, confiscated. They took his passport away from him. He cannot vote in America ever again because he's a felon. His life is at a standstill. But that's the person, Joseph Boykai. Oh, let's not forget. He said he can dance with the devil and sleep with the devil. So, nothing wrong with that. They've gotten what they could get out of him. Thousands of dollars. Maybe Joseph Boykai should have flew to America to take the stand and speak on behalf of Stanton Witherspoon when he was being sentenced to prison for these many years. And let's see what's going to happen, because I know us. They say, "Poor no friend." If you are down, we don't care about you. I remember once upon a time, I was down. My life was in shambles. And all those who were following me and calling me pastor, and they were doing everything I wanted them to do, they were. But when it came to a place that I slipped and I fell, everyone turned against me. Poor no friend. Nobody will care about you anymore. But when I got up and wept my behind and began to move victoriously by the grace of God, these very people begin to come and attach themselves to my bandwagon. It's the same thing going to happen to Stanton Witherspoon. I hope he has some good money saving somewhere, because now his children, his wife and family will be left out here to fend for themselves. And now he will be behind bars. Be careful, my brothers and sisters. Not only in Africa, but the entire world. Even here in America, in Europe, wherever, we have to be careful on how we tend to seek our destiny. We don't have to do it by cheating others. We don't have to do it by being greedy, by being deceitful and dishonest. We don't have to do it by becoming criminals, because as it was said by his own buddy, he said each time they did this kind of game and played thing to and steal money and to do things, when they find out that people are getting to know, they will decide to stop it, but Stanton will start a new one. Every time he will use a different tactics, the young man is smart, but he was smart to commit crime. But he wasn't smart enough to put stop to it, knowing that it was not right. Why? Because the money was sweet. The money was coming. The man was getting millions, or LPN. He went to an accelerated school for 3 months. And he graduated with LPN. And now he became the one who had he was a doctor in medicine. He knew how to run nursing school. But this is where you find yourself when if you're not careful about things that you do. So I'm sorry, Mr. Stanton, that they're going to take you away from your family for these many years, and you're going to lose everything. But that's what we get when we don't want to be fair, when we don't want to be honest, when we indulge into criminality. This is what we get. And this is exactly what Joseph Boycott and his team are involved with. Let's look around Joseph Boycott and see the kind of people that he hangs with, that he mingles with, just because of money, because of him, because of authority. He goes and get in bed with these kind of people. Liberians, I hope you are watching. Subscribers, I want to say thank you for returning and your consistency. Those of you who have not subscribed, I ask that you kindly do so. And I ask that the Lord himself be with Liberia as we go through the second round of elections. Liberia needs better. And we must maintain peace and tranquility, because Liberia is all we have. May the Lord bless you, Liberians, and may the Lord bless the Republic of Liberia.